Hi, I'm Trixie. I know you were probably saying to yourself, hey, Trixie's been gone for over a month now. Is she ever coming back? Well, guess what? You should have listened. I said I was going on summer vacation, but I also planned on coming back a week earlier than I did, right? Because my laptop got a problem last week. That's the one I edit on, so I had to fix that. But I am back now. And you're going to join me in my little pit of vinyl down here because I got a comment on one of my other videos saying, hey, looks like Trixie has a sizable record collection. She does. So I'm gonna do a video right now that I'm calling Trixie Loves Vinyl. I'm gonna have words like pop up on the screen there. Yeah, anyway, what we're gonna do while we're stuck in my little vinyl pit here is I picked 10 records out of my collection that I thought were interesting. I just want to take a look at them. So join me. Number 1. Here's something you don't see every day. This is one of those like K-Tel type, cram as many songs and crappy quality on one LP as you possibly can. But there is one odd thing you don't usually see. Do they show it on the cover here? I think they do. Yes, they do down there. This actually has In the Eye of the Sun by The Doors. Now, that's one of the songs from the post-Jim albums, right? You don't usually see those on compilations. I actually don't know if that was a hit. It might have been like a small hit, because those songs came out and people kind of went, but hey, it made it onto this album. That's very unusual. Number 2, here's something fun I found at a flea market. This is like a 12-inch single. See, Donna Summer was supposed to be disco's goddess of love, right? Well, guess what? She knew how to market for Valentine's Day. This was a special Valentine's release. It's a 12-inch single featuring 2 of her longest hits, Love to Love You Baby on one side, and then the other side is Try Me, I Know We Can Make It. Basically, 30 minutes of baby-making music. Ooh. Number 3. Okay, some records I found in my journey just ticked me the hell off. This is one of them. Now, you should be used to the fact that somehow, despite having a career for only like 4 years, Jimi Hendrix just has like an infinite number of albums coming out, right? Like, that guy must have worked like a machine. I just don't get it. But those are like licensed by his family, right? The ones that are coming out now. Right after he passed away, there was a lot of crap coming out with his name on it, and this was one of them. This is an album called Moods. Shame. Look at it with scorn, because guess what? Jimi ain't on this damn album at all. And the record's coming out the bottom. This is where the hole in the sleeve is. It's on the bottom. It's a complete catastrophe. But yeah, this ain't even him. It's got his face on it. It's got his name on it. He don't play one dang note on this album. I think they got sued for it. Yeah, like the label that put it out. Good. Screw them. I think that just broke, and I hope it did. What else do we got here? Ooh, this is a historic find. Hope it doesn't come off too shiny, because I don't want to... Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should rip the plastic off, because I think I talked about this in another video. If the plastic is still on a record, but the plastic has been opened, it tends to, like, shrink in on itself and damage the LP. So there you go. The plastic came off. This is a Pink Floyd record called British Winter Tour 74. Now, apparently this kind of changed the course of the band, because what they would do before they officially recorded an album like Dark Side of the Moon, or in this case Wish You Were Here, was kind of road test it, right? Like, they'd play like a prototype of the album on the road to see what they needed to tweak, what people responded to. The problem was, in this case, they were playing what was supposed to be the next album. It was Shine On You Crazy Diamond on one side, and then Raving and Drooling and Gotta Be Crazy, which became Sheep and Dogs on Animals, on the other side. Problem was, this bootleg came out, so they went, oh hell, everyone has our new album already. We gotta go in a different direction. Screw that for now. Which honestly I'm okay with, because this isn't great. Like, if they had just gone in the studio and just recorded this, it would have been, it would have been okay. But I feel like this material needed to have like a gestation period and develop a little bit. So I'm glad, you know, they decided to scrap this 3-song album and work on Wish You Were Here, and then eventually Animals, you know, recycled 2 of the songs. But yeah, it's interesting. Moving on, I don't know what number this is, I've forgotten, but I don't care. This is a 12-inch single by the real Milli Vanilli. Now, this came out after they were exposed as the phonies that they were, that Rob and Fab, the guys on the covers, weren't singing. So they had to show their real faces. So these 2 older guys on the ends, they were Milli Vanilli, right? And what's funny too is like these people in the middle, they just threw them in. Like this guy, I think they hired because he kind of looks like Fab. I think they were still trying to trick people to some extent, you know, maybe, oh, but that guy's still on it. Maybe he did sing. It's like, no, didn't work. People did not care about this trot at all. And the crazy thing is like the album that this came off of, right? If it had come out, like, it came out in Europe, it didn't come out over here in America. If it had come out in America, Milli Vanilli would have been done anyway, because, like, girl, you know it's true with a decent album, right? Like, it still is. Like, it's like those songs are genuine hits, right? The second album sucked beans. Totally sucked. Oh, I have got to simmer down. For someone who's been on break for a month and a half, I am salty. Oh, okay, this one, I got 145 I threw in here. I thought this would be appropriate since the Jay and Silent Bob reboot is coming out. I got Because I Got High. It's on weed green vinyl. Isn't that funny? Oh, this one is strange. Talk about a deceptive album. I found this at the record store, right? The Beatles' Hot as Sun. It claims to be the missing album that they recorded before Abbey Road, which of course is just crud. It didn't happen. But what's really weird is, if you flip it over, you see these? You see the explanatory liner notes on here? My producer wrote those. Yeah, like the magenta wig guy, I know that guy. And the reason they're on here is because, this album was like an urban legend for years, right? And he made a mock-up cover on the internet once for like a CD version, like what a CD version would look like, and wrote like these junk liner notes basically explaining like the urban legend about how like back in the 60s, like Rolling Stone printed an article that was just crap about how the Beatles apparently scrapped an album, right, called Hot as Sun, which is true, that's where it started. But then these people, I don't even know what like country this is from or what, these people took the liner notes like word for word off his little cover. What are the chances of that? Jeez, I go to buy some good music and I still can't escape my damn producer. Huh. Okay, so while we're in the 60s, this was a real lucky find for me, right? Because recently I just bought all of the Monkees albums, right? But they have a lot of like B-sides and just songs that came out on singles that didn't end up on albums. So you might be thinking, hey, maybe they should compile those onto like an album of their own. Well, technically they did, but you had to buy this like fancy colored vinyl box set that came out recently, and that was like the bonus record. But what should I do? Trixie bought all the albums separately. Well, I was looking on eBay, and surely enough, someone just took that out of the box and was selling it by itself. Yeah, it was perfect. This was just what I needed, and it's got, it's got all the songs that were just on their singles and stuff, a little bit me, a little bit you. I think this has, does this have, yeah, it has like the Porpoise Song with the extra ending on it and stuff. That was so lucky. And while we're on the Monkees, let me show you this. This shows why it's good to look in the dollar bins. You don't know what you're gonna find. Okay, so I have a couple copies of Headquarters, right? This one, it's in terrible shape, like the cover's all stained up and stuff. The record's actually scratched to the point of being unplayable, but the reason I kept this version, see, on the plastic here I wrote beard cover because they changed one of the pictures on the back cover at one point, and this is the rarer version. See, this one, it's got a picture of the Monkees with beards, right? That's not on most copies. Go to like your local dusty record store, you're not gonna see that. Actually, as a matter of fact, I can just show you right now here. Hold on. Okay, so this is a common copy of Headquarters, and thankfully this one's in nicer shape. I can actually play it and enjoy it. But instead of the beard picture, we got Davey sitting here with this guy. I think it was the producer or something, but yeah. See, different picture. Different picture. Ooh. So yeah, if you do collect the Monkees, be on the lookout for that. Okay, so we're on our last album here. I threw this in because I just loathe this album. I loathe it. I loathe it. This is how you commit pure career suicide, right? So there was a band in the 60s, psych rock band called Fudge, right? And they had like a really big first album. You know, they really took off right away. But then the second album killed them. Because they were like, everyone's doing concept albums, right? So let's do an album about the history of music where we just play like different variations on Sonny and Cher's The Beat Goes On. And it's like, this has like 20 different versions of The Beat Goes On, but like interspersed with random stuff you wanna hear. Like they do a Mozart piece and like Don't Fence Me In and In the Mood and a really lousy version of Hound Dog. They just ruin that song and like they stick with like the history of music thing, but they do, okay, this track is kind of cool. They do like a Moonlight Sonata, but like psych rock style. But then side 2 is just baffling. Like they have like a sound collage of like historical voices talking about like World War II, and then they read poetry. It's like, what the hell? And this thing actually sold. See, that's the good thing about having a first album that people actually like. This turd sold. But, I mean, to their credit, Vanilla Fudge realized they fudged up, right? Because after this came out and people were like, what the hell am I listening to? They rushed right back into the studio and recorded a normal album. Yeah, like this is more the usual kind of music, and this came out like right after. So, okay, they realized the mistake, they fixed it. That I'm okay with. But still, if you want to hear a real stinker that's gonna have you just ripping it off the turntable, oh... You know what, I'm throwing this in the pile with the broken Jimi Hendrix record. So, thank you for joining me. I'm sorry it has taken so long to make another video. Yes, this means I'm back, so I'm gonna have videos coming. I got lots planned out. I'm gonna go in different directions a little bit. I got some new ideas, so we'll see where that goes. But in the meantime, I have been Trixie. This has been, where did I point before? Trixie Loves Vinyl. Yeah, something like that. I have been Trixie, and you all have a good day.